Well, trusty studio apartment, it's been real, but it's time to leave you behind. This past week, my boyfriend Kobe and I started and ended our apartment search. That's right, we are going to be moving out of this precious studio apartment into a one-bedroom. And yes, I am feeling all kinds of emotions about it because this studio apartment has meant so much to me. I've been living here for 5 years now, and this studio is like a dear friend to me. But then I had to go and meet my dream guy, and it turns out that 2 people living in a studio is not ideal. So me and the dream guy and our lovely kitty Hilo, we're gonna be moving. So in this video, I'm going to show you all 3 apartments that we looked at in our apartment search, and then reveal to you which one we chose. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Steffi, and I'm the creator of the interior style blog, Moda, Misfit, as well as the online course, Small Apartment Styling School, and you're watching Living Pretty, the place for apartment styling tips. And now, without further ado, I present our apartment search. So apartment number 1 is in the Capitol Hill neighborhood here in Seattle, and that is where we currently live. And as a matter of fact, apartment number 1 just so happens to be right across the street from us. It was honestly really fun to explore the apartment building in which I've been staring at people's cats in their windows for the past 5 years. Very surreal experience. So the rent for this space is $24.68. It's definitely one of those sticker shock situations where you're like, ugh, but for what we're looking for in the area we're looking at, it's just the reality. So let's take a look inside this apartment. So when we walked into this space, it was immediate good vibes. This apartment had windows for days and was flooded with light and was just simply so pretty. The hardwood floors were pretty, the view was pretty, it just felt pretty. And this apartment had a cute little balcony, which I didn't get a very good shot of, but here's what it looks like on the virtual tour of the same floor plan in this building. It's a tiny one, but a balcony is a balcony. Another thing we loved about this apartment is the big kitchen. We have been trying our best with a 42 square foot tiny kitchen in this studio apartment. No dishwasher, no garbage disposal, and a tiny fridge. I think this fridge is shorter than me, and I'm 5'3". So this kitchen felt like a complete palace to us. I mean, look at that dishwasher. What a beauty. And then heading into the bedroom, I was absolutely thrilled because the hardwood continued into the bedroom, which we found in our apartment search that a lot of the time the bedrooms get carpeted instead of continuing the hardwood throughout, which I am morally and ethically against. Down with carpet, especially in apartment buildings. I do not want to inherit other people's stains in my space. I honestly just don't understand why carpet exists anymore. Like, not to be a bitch about it, but like, oh my God. So, needless to say, I was very, very thrilled with the hardwood throughout. So it's a very pretty bedroom. The giant windows continue, so a lot of light gets in. But this is where we ran into the downside of this particular apartment, and that is closet space. The closet space in this apartment is not good. This apartment actually didn't even have an actual closet. It just had these 2 baby boys in the bedroom. And that presents a challenge because in this studio, believe it or not, I have 2 closets for some magical, inexplicable reason. And one of those closets is a walk-in. So for the past 5 years, I have been used to a lot of closet space. And now it's not just me, it's also a whole other human being who has material possessions as well. So this presents a big challenge. And then the bathroom is a decent size, which was great to see. And it was also great to see that the hardwood, yes, continued throughout. So this apartment's hardwood game was on fire. Another huge positive to this apartment building is it has the most beautiful gym I have ever seen in my life on the top floor. I mean, I could get on the elliptical and literally stare at Mount Rainier. That's something I never would have thought could be something I could do. And then right outside the gym, the rooftop deck was stunning. So all in all, we loved this apartment. We loved the building. It's right across the street, so that means a very easy moving process, relatively. It's in an area we already know we love. We love Capitol Hill. It has the modern amenities that we were looking for and a stunning gym. The only real negative is the lack of closet space. Now, on to apartment number 2. Apartment number 2 was kind of our wild card in this apartment search because it's in the suburbs. I never thought I would be looking at an apartment in the suburbs because I have been a city girl since I left for New York City at age 18. So the idea of living in the suburbs is definitely a mindset shift. But at the same time, I grew up in the Seattle suburbs, so in a way, it's a return to my comfort zone. So apartment number 2 is in the city of Sammamish, Washington, which is about a half-hour drive from downtown Seattle. And this particular Sammamish location is beautiful. It kind of feels like the middle of nowhere in a good way. You're surrounded by trees. It feels very peaceful. It just feels nice out there. So I actually saw this apartment without Kobe because he had to work. So instead, my awesome, dependable dad came along. So the rent for the 1-bedroom floor plan we would be considering is $20.95, which is a pretty nice suburb-sized drop from city life. So that's an immediate plus with this apartment. So let's look inside. Now, the footage is of 2 different apartments because I was able to see 2 of them that day. And they were both very similar, but they each have their own really pretty views, and I wanted you to see them. One had this beautiful tree-lined view that would have made me feel like a woodland fairy, and that's pretty much something I'm constantly trying to achieve in my life. And then the other view was a bit more open and you could see the mountains in the distance. And I really liked both of these apartments. It's such a different pace and feeling out there. I felt so relaxed and among nature. And that was a very refreshing feeling. Another positive with these apartments is the space. Obviously, out in the suburbs, you're gonna get more space, and specifically, the closet space was incredibly impressive. I swear, there were like a million closets in both of these apartments. Closet here, closet there, closets everywhere. And compared to the first apartment, that was a huge plus. Another huge plus with this apartment building is it was a block away from Chipotle. Proximity to Chipotle is actually a non-negotiable for me, so it was very nice to see that I could just walk down the street to Chipotle whenever my heart desires. So there are a couple negatives with this apartment building. The first one is pretty obvious. And it's not necessarily strictly a negative, it's just a question of whether or not Kobe and I are ready to leave the city lifestyle. A move to Sammamish from downtown Seattle would be a big lifestyle change. So we really had to think about whether or not we were ready for that. And then the second negative with this apartment building is the dreaded carpeted bedrooms. Unfortunately, every bedroom in this apartment building has this horrible, ugly carpet. Can we just, as a nation, agree to outlaw carpeting? I hate it so much. And the third negative with this place is the gym compared to the first apartment building was lackluster, to say the least. I know it's not really fair to compare it to the absolute diamond of a gym that we saw in the first place, but yeah, the gym wasn't that great. So overall, I really loved this space, and Kobe really loved the footage that I showed him, and we were both very intrigued by the idea of moving out to a more peaceful, quiet, nature-filled place. Now on to the third and final apartment we saw in our apartment search. So apartment number 3, like apartment number 1, is in the Capitol Hill neighborhood that we love so much. And the rent on this one is $24.13, which is definitely on par with apartment number 1 and a lot of the 1-bedrooms we were seeing online. And you know what? I liked this apartment building too. We really didn't see a bad apartment in the bunch. This one had a really cool kind of artsy lobby, so immediately when you walk in, it just feels cool. And it also felt like a very upscale kind of building. When you walk into the apartment itself, it's a nice open floor plan, hardwood floors, a big kitchen. Oh, and I should also mention that immediately to your left is a gigantic walk-in closet. So apartments number 2 and 3 definitely have apartment number 1 beat in the closet game. That is for sure. Outside of the window was another beautiful city view. When you walk into the bedroom, it's a little bit on the small side, which is very doable, but here's where the first kind of negative makes its way into the picture with this apartment. There was the matter of this weird random cement column that made its way through the bedroom. And while it adds kind of a cool industrial element to the space, I personally love concrete and I love the concrete ceiling in the bedroom, it's simply hard to work around. That random cement column puts quite a few limitations on how you can arrange the space. So wasn't a fan of that. But then you turn around and you see another big ass walk-in closet. So the apartment gods giveth and the apartment gods taketh. Like the other 2 apartments, you have in-unit washer and dryer, which is amazing, and a nice big bathroom. Apartment number 3 also had a stunning rooftop deck. Like apartment number 1, we're talking sweeping views of Seattle. And the community area was really nice as well, which with both Kobe and I working from home is a huge plus because that gives us another space that we can go work in. So the positives of this apartment building were that it felt really nice and upscale. The location we already know we love. It had a really nice city view, and then the rooftop deck had an amazing city view. The negatives were that weird cement column in the bedroom, and I didn't even mention this earlier, but the bedroom also had the horrible carpet that I hate so much. And honestly, this unit felt a little bit more dark and cave-like compared to the other 2. But overall, it was a great apartment and we really liked this one as well. Like I said, we really didn't meet an apartment we didn't like in this apartment search. So now the time has come for me to reveal our new apartment. All right, Kobe, which one did we choose? We chose apartment number 1. We absolutely loved this apartment so much. It's the one that gave us the sparkly feelings that I always talk about when I talk about decorating an apartment. The sparkly feeling applies to choosing an apartment as well. Say hello to Hilo, by the way. And even though the closet space is going to be quite an issue, I have some tricks up my sleeve and I'm excited to show you guys how we overcome the lack of closet space. We actually really considered the Sammamish apartment, the one in the suburbs. Like I said, we were very intrigued by that lifestyle change, but ultimately we decided that we weren't quite ready to leave the city yet. So Kobe and I move into the new apartment on March 1st, which is just 3 weeks away. I am so excited to document this whole process for you, so definitely stay tuned to my YouTube channel because moving into this new apartment and then decorating it is gonna be quite a focus. Let me know in the comments below, which apartment did you like the best? Which would you have chosen? I'm very curious because like I said, we really liked all three. And if you too are about to move into a new apartment or you want to decorate your current one, I want to remind you that I have a free workshop that you can watch on demand called Decorate Your Dream Apartment Without Spending Money on the Wrong Decor for You. And it's an hour-long workshop in which I teach you how to discover your personal style, how to make mood boards to help you visualize how things might look together, and then also how to shop for decor in a way where you're buying things that you actually connect with and that you actually love in your space. It's the exact method I used to transform my 500 square foot studio apartment into my dream apartment. So if you want something that will help you get started on doing the same with your space, I will link to my free workshop in the description below. And remember, your apartment and our new apartment is destined to be pretty, and you are pretty powerful. Right, Hilo? Are you excited to move? You're not. Why not? Well, I know I love this studio too. I know it's gonna be hard to leave. But guess what? This apartment is gonna be great too. You're gonna love it.